Hi everyone, it's Nicole from Nicole Jones 91 Colors, and today, or this next few days, we are going to be working with soft pastels. Now, right here, I have two different brands. I have the Ohuhu 72 sets of soft pastels, and I have the Mungyo 64 set, and these ones are way smaller. And this week we are going to be working with 4 different ones, but 2 of the ones that we're going to be using, they're not in yet. So I will insert them right here, the other 2, and we'll talk about those. So the last 2 types of soft pastels, I guess. This one here is like a no-name brand. It came in pretty bad shape. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them broken. I mean, whatever. They're all there. I kind of put them all together. They're pretty dirty. But I'll just take a Kleenex or something and kind of clean them all up. I'll do a swatch for this and we'll just whatever, call it good. It wasn't very expensive, so we're just gonna call it good. And the last one is kind of like, I don't know. It's called water soluble pastel painting sticks. They were called semi-hard. Yeah, semi-hard pastels. But they're water soluble, so you can use them wet or dry. And they're pure pigment, light fast pastel painting sticks by Charvin. And I got this on Amazon. And look how much better this is packed. You know, they're all safe. Comes in a little box, each of them. And look at all the colors. Beautiful. I really like this set a lot. So we're going to try them dry and we're going to try them wet. Now that we talked about the different pastels we're going to be using, let me talk about some of the tools that we're going to use. I'm going to use some of these premium cotton rounds. You know, you can get those at the dollar store, super cheap. Just these makeup sponges. I just got them in a pack of like 200 or something, and we'll be using some of those. I'm going to be trying to use the soft pastels with some blending stumps, and absolutely need this big fanny brush just so I can clean the soft pastels because they are super messy. Another tool, I just saw that, I just caught that at the corner of my eye, but I think I'd like to try, oh, is it ever difficult to open, one of these and maybe use this on, you know, with the soft pastels. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll bring a little one, like 3 different sizes. Okay, let's try that. And we're gonna need a water brush because of that pastel that I was telling you about. I'd never heard of that pastel before, but we're gonna give it a try. These are the 2 books that we're gonna be working in. This book here is World Literature by Erie, and this is one of the pages that I wanted to start in the month of May, so perfect. We're going to use that. And Boule de Poil is just, it's just so cute, and there's tons of pages here that I could work on the background or something, and I think it's going to be great. Now, what I plan on doing is using the soft pastels for the background and like the water and things like that. But also I want to use it on elements too and put pencil crayons or colored pencils over top. We'll just get started and we'll talk about all the different things that I want to try as I'm actually trying it. So we're going to start in this book first. And I think I'm going to choose some, oh, I forgot one thing that is super important. An X-Acto knife to scrape off the soft pastels, and also my board to put the soft pastels on. And I want to share a tip that one of my subscribers told me in the last video. I missed a spot here, but my board here was stained, and she said use a magic eraser and it'll take it off, and it did. It took it all off. Like there's a little bit here, but I don't think I actually did there. So, but everything else that was stained, it is clean. So yay. So magic eraser. And she said white toothpaste too will work, but the magic eraser works. So thanks for the tip. I don't remember who exactly said that, but thank you. Thank you for that tip. Now let me choose some colors for the sky and the water. And then we'll come back and we'll start doing the background, and I'm going to do the water, but I also want to base maybe the tree with some soft pastels. And then I want to do colored pencils over top. So one of the things I did this morning was I made a swatch for my Mungyo set. And I can tell you, it is messy. I'm going to take it outside and I think I'm going to spray it to seal the chalk in, because there is chalk. And look, like it's making such a mess. So I'll definitely be doing that as soon as we're done playing with it. It's messy, but I can still see the colors. And what I did was, this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there was 16 in each row. So then there was no names. Well, there was on the cover, but the names mean nothing to me because it's not written on the chalk. So I did 1 to 16 like this, and then I started row 2, row 3, and row 4. So for the sky, I think I want 14. Where's my palette here? The board. I want 14 and 15. You know what? I don't want them to get all mixed up, because then it's going to be hard to put them back. So what I do is I just take my craft knife and just scrape a little bit off of it. And these are really small, but I think they're going to last a long time because, you're just scraping a little bit off. And this is really budget friendly. I think it was like $15 or $16 for this set. So that's going to be my sky. Now the water, what color do I want the water? I think I want this color right here, number 9 or number 10. Or I could do 9 and 13 and kind of do like the dark shadows with 13. So that is still in row 2 and 9. So 3, 6, 9. So let's just keep them separate. 9 and 10, 11, 12, 13. Soft pastels are super, super messy. So if you want baby wipes, at your desk to kind of clean up. I wish I would have realized that this sheet was bigger than this before I made this. I mean, I could cut out the Mungyo, like this part, and then it would fit in. That's probably what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut this off, and then I can put the name on the back or something to make sure that I don't misplace it. But for now, we'll just do that. Like that. Now, we're going to try different methods to use the pastels. We're going to start, first of all, on these sponges. We'll take a few out. Again, so messy. But you can use an eraser to just clean that off. So if you get soft pastel anywhere that you don't want it, just an eraser and clean it up. So I'm gonna stick my finger in there, so then my finger is gonna become like a tool. And then I'm just gonna fold it over. And I think we're gonna start with the light color. Now I could go in with the pastels, like directly on the paper, but you saw how messy they are. So I think I would end up making a huge mess. Now this is where I'm thinking the blending stump is gonna help, is I can move some of the colors around where it's difficult to get into. You know, using it like a pen almost, you know, or a paintbrush. Yeah, that works good. And it moves the color around really nicely. And I was thinking, like, in areas like right up there where it's tight, I mean, you could use this, or you could use the makeup sponge too and get up there just like that, and move the soft pastel. And the thing with soft pastel is it's soft. You know, what you put on is a soft layer. So if you want it more vibrant, just add another layer. And the other thing is too, with soft pastels, you really should be putting a finishing layer on it. That really should have been with all the tools and stuff, that should have been on there. But what I have is the Krylon workable fixative, and there's some that is not workable. It's just like fixative. And for coloring, that's not what you want unless it's the very last layer. But what I would do is, you know, do your pastel work, seal it, and because it's workable fixative, you can go on top of this stuff and still work the rest of your page. So that's where the workable fixative is nice. And then once the page is all done, you can go ahead and seal it again, and then it's sealed. Your coloring page is protected and sealed. The only really difference is that you're able to work over top even after you've applied the workable fixative, which is a really big bonus, because it's so messy that, you know, if I were to do this and then I'm dragging my hand, I'm going to drag all that stuff all over the rest of the coloring page, which, you know, I said you could erase it. But one thing is, let's say if I was doing this color and then I want to go in and add another, as soon as you start working, you know, a few colors in there, it's going to become more and more difficult to kind of clean up. So as you're doing layers, I guess, is go and clean up everything that you don't want chalk on. Now you could put, oh, what's that stuff called? The drawing gum, you know, all over everything and make sure that it doesn't go on. But really, where it erases so well, I don't think that it's necessary. And that stuff, it takes a long time to put on. And then you have to take it off after. And sometimes, depending on the quality of the paper, it can rip your page too. But see how I got some on his face? I'm just going to get my eraser, and boom, it's gone. Okay, now I think I want to do this color and go up here. And go here. Okay. So I'm going to do it kind of, I could have done it like darker here and lighter out here, but I wanted to do the opposite, and that's okay. Now, as you can tell right there, I went kind of a little heavy. So I'm going to take that and just lighten it up, and then I'll go in with a clean one. Oh, and I could use one of these erasers too, the kneadable erasers. Let me open it up. Okay, so I just worked it a little bit, and then you can just lift a little bit of the color. And the great thing with these is that you just work the eraser and it just kind of works in that icky stuff, you know, or what you took off inside, and then you just go and just take a little bit off. And that's the thing, I didn't want to take a whole bunch off, I just wanted to take a little bit off. So I'll keep that out. Now I want to use this again, so I'll just kind of turn this and make it so I have another clean edge here. Just for the bigger area, you could use like a cotton ball too. I just don't have any cotton balls. This is what I have, so. And it's just gonna make it so it's smoother instead of the little stick here where I kind of put a lot of color all at once. And the great thing with these soft pastels too, you know, yes, I'm doing the background first, but you literally could wait at the end. Let's say if you just, oh, I don't want to do a background, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I really did want to do a background. You can do a soft pastel background. And then even if you've colored your picture, especially if you use some wax pencils, the wax pencils are going to resist the soft pastel, so it shouldn't even go on there too bad. And two, you could use, you know, the blending stump or those to go in close to your colored areas so you don't mess it up. Okay, I think I like it that way. And then we'll do a little bit more of the lighter color. Another thing too is if you do a Neo Color 2 background, and sometimes it's really hard to get a really deep color with the Neo 2s. Like, it doesn't matter how many coats you put on, it just doesn't seem to go on opaque. Doesn't always happen, it just happens sometimes. if you go over top of your Neo Color 2 with some soft pastels, boom, you fix that problem and you can make that area, you know, a really dark blue or a really, you know, black compared to the almost gray that you had. I think I do have a page where I have a Neo Color 2 background and I haven't done anything else to the page yet. Actually, I think it's a page that we did together for the Neo Color 2. And I think I'm going to bring it in later and put some on that background and see how that goes. Okay. Well, I'm liking that background. And even if there's like a little bit of like white puffs here and there, I kind of like that because it kind of makes it look like there's clouds in the sky, you know? So I'm kind of liking that. Just like that. I'm just going to add a few areas like this, so then it does look like clouds. Then the white part looks like clouds, right? Okay, and it's such a fast background, like compared to colored pencils, for example, you know? I did a colored pencil background the other day and it was like an hour and a half or something, and it was not like a huge background. It was contained in a circle. I was like, wow, that took forever. And this probably took 10 minutes, 15 minutes, if that. Okay. I like it. I don't think I need to add any more. I like how soft it is on this side and how it is over here. Now, just because you've done a background with your soft pastels, if you want to go and add like some shadows, take your colored pencils and go add some shadows. If you wanted to add a design to the background, like I wouldn't want to do that on my sky, but let's say if you wanted, it was just like an abstract thing and you wanted to put some circles in there, you could take a template like this and put it on and then take your eraser and just erase away the soft pastels in those areas and you get a funky background. Now let's start with the water. We'll just do a little bit together and then I'll go and finish it off because I want to do like the tree and stuff, because I want to have an area where we're going to put colored pencils over top. Is that ground or is that water? No, that's water. Is it? That's ground. Would that be ground or would that be water? I'm not sure. What is this? Is this all ground? And then this is water? I have no idea. Like yeah, I'm going to say those are blades of grass. I guess. Not sure. So, oops, I made a mistake. This is supposed to be green. So I'm just going to take my eraser and get in there and erase it. It comes off pretty easy. I mean, inside the crease right there, it is a little more difficult. There. Once I put green over top of that, it won't be a big deal. Okay. So we'll start. Yeah, that looks like it's ground right there, right up to here. So we'll start right here. And same thing, you know, if I go over the blades of grass or the leaves, I'm just going to make sure that I use an eraser. So I just want this part of the water super dark. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm just going to put about that much for now. And I think for the other one, I'm just going to flip this around. And I can just do bigger areas. I'm going to blend these two together. I'm not too fussy, even though it goes over other stuff. I'll just go in and erase. So I've used the soft pastels quite a bit for backgrounds, but not too much for basing something, you know, to cover the tooth of the paper. So that's why I want to do it on that tree and see how it works to afterwards go ahead and use some colored pencils and go ahead and add my shadows and highlights. Okay. Okay, it's gonna go to here. Just like that. Okay. And that is definitely a page where I am gonna add the workable fixative and probably wait like, I don't know, a minute. So I'll put some going this way. I'll wait a minute and then I'll do it the other way. Wait a few minutes and then I'll keep working on the page. And you definitely want to erase before you put the workable fixative on. There. I'll erase all of that. So before I go in and let's say put a second coat, definitely take the soft pastels off the elements. Because I think once you'd have a second coat, you'd have a harder time to clean off. this chalk pastel off where you don't want it to be. For the tree, I think we're going to use the Ohuhu 72 soft pastels just because it has a bigger variety of green. And that's why I like to have both. Like I had, 4 or 5 greens here, and there's like 8 or 9. So, and I think I like number 36. Yeah, and you can mix and match too, right? Like I could go, I like in row 2, the number 8 and number 36. I could do that too. Or, number 7 and number 36. Do I want to do that? Maybe. Number 7 or number 8? 7 or 8? 7, 8. It wasn't 6, 7, 6, 7. 7 or 8 or 9. I think 9. Okay. Let's get, it's row 2, number, what? Do I have that right? Yeah, row 2. Oh no, row 3. Yeah, that makes more sense. Number 9, 3, 6, 9. So it's that one right here. We're gonna get this and scrape some off, just like that. And then we'll take, what did I say? Number 36. 36 is right here. I do like these better just because there's something on top that makes it that your hands don't get all messy. So I do like the Ohuhu for that. And when I get down to here, then I can just cut a little piece off and still keep the wrapper. I won't take the whole wrapper off. There we go. Let's put these away. I think I'll do the cotton swab thing, or not the cotton swab, but this little thingy-majig to start with. And I'll pretty much do the whole tree. And then I'll come in with the darker green and kind of do a little bit of the shadows, Let's try to see if we can do some of the shadows with that. Just like that. Okay. Oh, I forgot a little bit of the sky right there. I'm glad I didn't. I was going to say delete, but get rid of that. And then for back here, I'm going to use the blending stump to get in those areas back there. And I see sky there too, so I'm going to have to do that for the sky. But I like the blending stump for like getting into stuff like that and getting close to stuff. So awesome. And it spreads out the chalk fairly well too. Oh, that could have been sky. So I can take that, and then we will do the sky here and here. Love it. Now I'll get this in there. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go around and just go right near the edge for the whole tree. I need to put more. Okay, now I'm going to just move it over a little bit and get in a clean spot. And we'll add some shadows. Just like that. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. I'll put some down here too, because it's the bottom of the tree. Okay. I like it. I do like it. I like it a lot. All right. That's pretty good. Like I have a lot of the page base now. I could even do some brown and maybe the ground. But I think the rest I want to do with, pencils or even some water-based markers and base everything. And then color over top with my colored pencils. But I see here, I got some on the tree. So we'll get that off. Got more here. Get that off. Now before I do any more work to this page, I'm gonna seal this once I am satisfied that I've erased the soft pastels wherever I don't want it to be. And then we'll come over top with, I'll probably do that on my own, or maybe I'll do a little bit maybe with the tree. Before we start working in the books, I just thought I'd show you, I swatched the 48 Charvin water soluble pastels, and look at those colors. Gorgeous. Another thing I will tell you is that I sealed all my swatches for the pastels because, oh my goodness, what a mess. So this one here, I already love them because they don't mess your hands too much. So I kind of like that. One thing I will say is that you cannot pick color up from it though. I think I'm going to have to scrape to get some color. You can color directly with the pastels, but you can't, when you rub with something like this, you can get some color and transfer it. You can't do that with those. And then I did swatch the No Name brand, and I just put them on the back of the Munguo. And I didn't even erase it. I just sealed it. It doesn't matter. It would have taken me forever. And I'm like, I can see the color. As long as it doesn't go all over my hands anymore, that's all I care about. Even like I was putting it down on the desk and the desk was getting all dirty. I'm like, I got to get those sealed up. So now that I have all my colors all kind of figured out, I'm going to bring in different books. One, we are going to add some pastels, soft pastels, to a neo color background. Two, we're going to put some soft pastels on an alcohol marker background. And 3, we're going to put some soft pastels on Amazon paper, and we're going to compare how they work with all, you know, the different mediums and the different papers. So I have all my charts out, and I'm going to find the best color for this page, although I really like it. Like, I don't want to, I really like how the background looks, but, you know, for experimentation, we're going to work with this. So I think number 4 in the no name will work well with this. Ooh, number 2 also. And as far as those guys, none in these, I don't think. Oh, okay. Number 31 maybe? No. Number 29, I think. And that light blue, ooh, I think number 6. Maybe? I don't know. And that light one here. If I don't find any that's that color, I'm just not going to use it because I really like how it looks. And it's more like for the dark anyway. So let's start with 4 and 2 out of the, what do you call them? The No Name brand. And that's why I got them, because when I was looking at the colors that I had, I didn't have a lot of pink. So I ended up getting like 3 more pinks with this one. And then with this one here, look at all the different pinks. So that was the main reason. Like this one here with the Ohuhu, they gave me 2 of the same number. So I didn't get number 17. And I had a few pinks in here, but I just wanted more pinks. And there's no purples in here that are close. So, okay. Let's do number 4. Let's get a clean one here. We'll get that and we'll rub it on. And what I'm hoping is that it just smooths it out without changing the color too much. It's actually a pretty darn good match if I say so myself. Because sometimes with the Neo Color 2s, you don't get like, well, you can see, like you can still see through. And for water, I actually like that look. Let me get the stump to get into these little cracks here. Yeah, that is actually working really well. I like that. I was hoping to get this page done before the end of the month, but I don't know. Today's Saturday, the 30th, and I'm like, oof, I don't know if I'm gonna get it done. I think I'm gonna work on pages that I'm a little closer to being done, you know? Some of them, I have like 2 elements left to color, so I think I'll work on that and try to get those done. I still am hoping to get 6 or 7 pages done before the end of the month. That's my hopes. Okay, I like how that is. Now let's do number 2. Yeah, it works really well over Neo Color 2s. So we're going to call that a success. I don't know, this one here, I think, I don't know if the color is lighter than what I have on there, but it's not working. Not like the other one. Oh, and this color is like, nope. And I just turned it around and I was able to erase it. I don't know. Number 12, that's totally different. Yeah, I was thinking number 2 was going to be the closest one. What about number 46 in Ohuhu's? 46 is cobalt blue. I'm going to go right on like that and then take the blending stump. Yeah, it's working. So I think I'm just going to put a little bit down here to kind of help with the transition of that purple to that blue into the other blue. But I think that's all I'm going to do. I just really like, it's just going to give me like 3 different transitions, if you will. I'm okay with that. You know what? That's probably part of that leaf. So I'm gonna, it is part of that leaf. So I'm just gonna erase that. So I'm not gonna do any more. And I'm gonna get that eraser. And at least take the pastel off. I know I can't take the Neo Color 2 off, but I'll take the pastel and just cover over that. But that worked well. And again, I just really like that background, so I don't want to mess with it too much, but it's working pretty good. And just so it matches, I'll do a little bit over here and get that kind of dark on both sides and then the less dark. So we're going to call that a success. I just really love this and this. I don't want to mess with it. Okay, so on top of Neo Color 2, check and good. Next, we're going to do on top of alcohol markers. And I couldn't find a blue that's really close to that, but I do like 15. And that's in the Munglio. I don't know how to say that, but number 15 in row 2. So there's 16, so it would be this one. I have so much stuff everywhere. What a mess. As soon as I'm done all this, I need to clean up and kind of reorganize everything. Oh, that is working really good. It's going on like butter. So on top of alcohol markers, it's working really well. I'm just going to make like kind of shadows because I like how it looks like there's clouds way back in this, you know, in the distance. So I like that. I'm going to put some dark shadows here. Just like that. And I like that. Okay. I like it. Not gonna put too much. So instead of doing, you know, this with the pencil crayons, I think this was the last thing I had. Oh no, I have to do the snout and the horn and the face and the hair. So just a few things. I plan on finishing it today. But I still had the sky, and I thought, you know what? Since you're experimenting with some soft pastels, try the different papers too. Oh, I really like that. So smooth. And I like the soft pastels for exactly that, a soft background. And I like that you're able to like erase, you know, if it goes somewhere that it's not supposed to. And where I've already colored, it kind of resists the pastels. I'm still being careful, but it's resisting the pastels. I like it. Okay, so on alcohol marker background, check, and I really like it. Next, we're gonna work on Amazon paper, and it's still on alcohol markers, but it's on Amazon paper, so it has a different feel. And you know what? I think it's the same color, 15, and I might do a little bit of 14, like in the darker areas, because it is alcohol markers. I want to use a little bit more and cover the streakiness. Just looking for that one. We're gonna keep those for like on a specific page. So let's get the Mungyo again. Where did I put them? And we will get 14 and 15. So we'll turn that around and we'll use this one. These ones here, they still put dust on your hands, not as much as that No Name brand. That No Name brand, oh my goodness. Those pastels are pretty messy, like really messy. You know what? I think for this, see, it does make a difference. You know, the other one was alcohol marker, but on a better quality paper, and it was going on much, much easier. It was just gliding. This one here, it's not going on very well. It's not gliding. So, is that the same color? I think it might be. Let's do this and just put more. Yeah, that is much better. Better, but I don't know. You know, is this easier? Because I'm trying to think, is it easier than using pencil crayons? Because that's what I would want to do. Let's try with like a cotton swab or like one of these makeup browns. See if I can move it around a little easier. Way harder than the other paper. I don't know if I would use it on Amazon paper. I think the pencil work is going to be easier. Tried it, didn't like it. I'm just going to finish this with paper. I'm not even going to do the other color because I can barely get it to move. So chalk on Amazon paper, not my favorite. The last way we're going to use the chalks, we're going to use these water soluble ones. And on this page, we'll use them dry and wet. And when I was first looking at this, I was like, what is that? They're sitting on the tree stump. It took me a minute to figure it out. So I think we'll do the brown of the tree and we will move that around. Let's see what we have here. I think I like number 6. I think so. At first I thought number 5, but I think that's too light. We'll do number 6 and then the dry, maybe we'll do those leaves with number 4 here. Okay, so number 6, 1, 2, 3. Is that it? It's what? Row 1. Did I move them around or something? Oh, that's not it. That's why I'm confused and it's not working. Okay, this is Okay, this is much better. Okay. Ooh. Number 3 maybe? Ooh, no, number 10. Number 10. Okay, now that makes more sense. And that would be row number 4. So that's, oh, it's turned around. I have to make sure that I put them the same way. So row 1, row 2, row 3, row number 4. Are they supposed to be this way? Yes. Row number 4 and number 10. Okay. It's a good thing I can tell by the colors. And these aren't as messy. And you can't take this. It doesn't take any color off. So you're either going to have to scrape it off or directly scrape, like do it on. And I don't know how vibrant or how much the color moves on this. So we're just going to do a little bit. And then we'll activate them, I guess. I didn't put any paper underneath. I should probably do that. Let me grab something and put it underneath. And I like it. So that's going to be another water medium that's going to be kind of available to me, which I really like. Okay, so there's some that kind of went on, I don't know, this thing here, and I'm thinking that's probably not green or not brown. Maybe it's green. I don't know. Okay. Okay. There we go. I like it. That is different. And it's not like super potent, but it's not like super light either. And the other great thing, it gets rid of that dustiness too, because you're wetting it. Oh, I like those. I'm so glad that they popped up on, my search when I did for soft pastels. Like I said, it said they were semi-hard, not completely soft, but I thought they would fit well with, this kind of week where, because they go on like soft pastels, right? They're messy like soft pastels, except they're not messy on your hands. And I like how you can put them down. Am I in the view here? Because this is taking so much room. Let's move it up a little bit. And let's get our color on. And then we'll do this. Like that. Well, this is pretty cool. I'll wet another few sections here and then I'll just finish it off on my own, and then we'll come back and use them dry. And with that, I think how I'm going to use it, I might put it down like that. I'll try it a few different ways. So we'll see how they work dry. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop the recording. Just get this ink or pigment, I guess, moved around. And then we'll come back and use it dry, because these guys you can use wet or dry. So this stuff works really well to activate it. I absolutely love it. It just moves around like well, and I just like that I can just, scribble it on and I can move the pastel around. I love that. Now I want to do the dry method. Do I want to do this green for the leaves and that green for the grass? So row 2, number 8, so 4, 8 will be that one. Now again, I can scrape it off. I can't do this. Like no color comes off. That would take forever, but I can scrape some off, but it's not my favorite way to do it. Let's see if I can just kind of paint it like that, but instead of activating it, if I take the blender tool, or the makeup tool, and move it around, that works really well. And this is a small area, so it's kind of like difficult to move it. But I bet you the blending stump too would work well. Let me clean off my blending stump. I don't know if you've seen this before. I'm sure you have. But it's just like a little piece of, I don't know, board, and then they have sandpaper on top, and then you can just clean off your blending stump. I love it. Okay, let's do this one here, and we'll use the blending stump. That works well too. So it's whatever you like best. That works well too. Awesome. Now, what color did I want to do this? Did I say number 10? I think number 10 would go really well with these other colors. And it's in the same row. Okay, I think that I'm going to use the makeup brush. It does go, it moves it around much easier than the blending stump. But the blending stump, what I like is that you can get into the nitty gritty of stuff, right? Like way up there. So I like that. And once you blend it in, you don't have that dust, as much. Just like the other pastels, I guess. But I would definitely seal this still, But it seems to be, soaking into the paper. Kind of good. I'm gonna, yeah, this is the right one, right? Like, oh no, did I pick up the wrong one? Usually I put it away, but I didn't finish that. I thought, I would do it off camera. We'll do a little bit more with this. And then I'll finish the rest of the green off camera. And then there's so many different greens. I can pick another green for the bushes, which is awesome. Love this. Again, if you get it on something else, eraser, gone. That is so awesome. I love this. Okay, I'm gonna finish the rest of the leaves and then the rest of the grass. And I might pick another green, maybe, maybe number 12, maybe? And I'll do the bushes back here. And then there's also these. So I need to pick another green, maybe number 11. So 12 for this, number 11 for this, and then I'll come back and we'll see what we have. This is what I got done. So I used those Charvin water-soluble pencils, and I filled out everything except their skin. I didn't find that there was a pastel in that set that mimicked skin color. So I just left that alone, and I'll just do it with pencils. But really, you know, like everything, I activated everything except these right here. And it's actually the part that's the softest is the one that I just rubbed in, because I know I started here too with rubbing in. And then I decided I just want to use the paintbrush. It was so much fun. I love, this was a different kind of pastels, right? But I love the sky here. I'm not going to touch it. I love the way it turned out. I am going to work on the water and everything else. I think the sky is the only thing that I'm going to leave alone. And I went through and grabbed some polychromos, not for everything. I didn't choose a polychromo for his shirt and pants and hair. Maybe his hair. I think this is pretty close. Or the fish. There's a few things. And the water. I didn't pick anything for that, but I picked some stuff for almost everything else. So the first one is Brown Ochre 182. And that's going to be perfect for that tree here. And, you know, the point of this is just to see how, you know, the pencil or the colored pencils are going to go over top. And it seems to be going over top really well. And the purpose, you know, of putting down that pastel, first off, is look how fast I, you know, got through that section of the coloring page. When you don't have a first coat of something, it just takes forever to cover that tooth. So by doing that part first, you're getting color down and you're saving yourself some time with the colored pencils. Plus, it's easier on the pencil. Man, some pages that I did just using colored pencils, like my pencil, I used like this much of the pencil, you know, and some of these pencils are not cheap. And I mentioned in my weekly whip and chat that I was, you know, had been so happy because there was a store that opened in our area that was selling open stock polychromos, Albert Durs, and Prismacolors and Tombow markers. I was in my glory, and I was ordering about maybe twice a month, once to twice a month. Not a lot, like $20 to $40 every time, but just enough, you know, that they were getting support and hoping that they would stay open. And they just closed. They said something unforeseen came up and they have to permanently close. And I was like, no. I was going on the site. There's about 10 polychromos that are starting to, they're not small, but I was like, you know, yeah, I can tell they're quite a bit smaller than the rest. So I'm going to start getting polychromos. I was going to get a few Prismacolors, not a lot, just, I think I was going to get 1087 because, man, I use that color all the time. and I'm already on my second pencil, and I was going to get white. I was going to get a couple of whites because I'm already on my second pencil of the white, and 901 because I've already started my second pencil of 901, and then I was going to get a couple of Tombow markers, and it's like, nope, you can't get anything. So now I'm on the hunt, you know, where can I get open stock of these pencils? Now I found a couple places, but I have to order. One place was $200. Well, I might as well buy the whole set, you know, if I have to buy $200, because I'll get less pencils and it's going to cost me just as much. And then I found another place that was $120 for free shipping. So it's okay, I guess, but it's still $120. I was hoping to find a place like where I've been buying my Copic refills, like $60. Yep, you know, I'll order, you know, 20 pencils, and because they're $3 a piece, and it'll cost me, you know, $65, and I'll have 20 pencils. And I can make it so that that should be part of that branch. So I have to remember that when I come through. Not branch, but whatever this is. But now, 120, I'm like, ugh, I have to order 40 for $120. Then I start doing the math, right? Like, it's like, okay, well then just double that and I get all 120 of the colors. My thing is, I'm like, no, because they said they were going to get the 20 new colors. I was like, no, I was going to buy it. Hopefully this place here will get them too. And what I'll do is I'll just get two sets. And hope, you know, I'll probably be close to the 120 at that point. And then if I'm not, then I'll just order a few of the colors that I know that I use a lot. So I'm not going to do a lot of the shading with you guys, but just to show, like, yes, what I should do, and I've mentioned that before, is I know that 182 works really well with, you know, whatever number. Let's say this was number 9, row 10. I should put that in a book somewhere and know this color goes really well with that color. And what did I choose? This one here, I chose a darker color. I think I chose 174 chromium green opaque, just because it's the same color. I use the same color as the grass to base it, and I'm like, that's not gonna fly. So, but it's okay because, you know, when you come over top with pencils, you can change the color. So that's good. And then I'll probably go with May Green. See, this is one of the ones I wanted to get a second pencil. May Green. And then I'm going to blend those two together. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just tell you what the colors I was thinking, and just do a little sample of each. And then we're going to call it good for this video, because I'm sure it's long enough. So that background there, Juniper Green, 165. And you can go back on the video and see, you know, in those Charvins, which ones that I had used. I think this was number 12, the last row, I think. But again, it's in the video. Yeah, that's almost like a perfect color. Like, it matches perfectly. So I'll be using that for all the bushes in the back. Now for this green here, I'm going to use Earth Green Yellowish pencil 168. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? And again, I need to write those down. I'm gonna have to go through my own video and figure out what I used where, and then put down that polychromos, you know, this color, if you use that pencil or that chalk, that pencil goes well with it. So I really like those two. I like that. And for his hair, was it this one? Burnt Umber, was that it? Yeah, so Burnt Umber, which is 280, works really well with this color of chalk. And then the gray for the bucket, Cold Gray 234. Like it's almost the same color. Like it's so cool. And then for the shadows, I picked Payne's Gray 181. So that is going to work out so good. And then you can leave some areas, you know, that has maybe a little bit of white that you can see the tooth of the paper maybe, you know, but down here, definitely it's going to have like a shadow because it's kind of behind that tree stump here, or that fallen tree. So that's going to work out great. Now these green, I didn't pick anything for that green. I'll have to go. Oh, and that one here too. I think I picked the same as this, which was what, May green? Oh no, it was Earth Green Yellow. Yeah, Earth Green Yellow for that one. And then I'll probably go in, is it with this one? Pine Green. And just do like the deepest shadows for that one. And then I'm going to blend it. I think it was Pine Green, yeah. Once you blend it, it looks really good. So Earth Green Yellowish and Pine Green for that tree, and then just the Pine Green for this one here. And I'll probably blend it with the yellow maybe, just so it has some yellowish tinge in there. So that worked out for that one. And then for his hair, I think it was the same as the tree, the 182 brown ochre. Yeah. Isn't that pretty cool? So that color works really well. And then I can go in with a darker brown, you know, like I always put the tips together and go, yeah, like that's gonna go well. Just for the deeper shadows. And then I take the first pencil and I blend it out. I like that so much. I wish I could color the whole page with you guys, but I think I'm going to start a series called Crack the Whips. And that is something that we will focus on, is just, you know, I'll put a timer on and see how much we can get done in half hour per page. And I'll chat while I get whatever I can get done in a half an hour. And I can tell you, the pencil work, you don't get much done in half an hour. So either I'll do half an hour and do 3 books in Crack the Whips, and then after oh, maybe what I'll do is, let's say, I'll say, okay, I'll use cold gray, and then I'll do a little bit, like maybe 5 minutes, you know, and then I'll go off camera, finish that element the way, let's say if I did leaves, I'll do a couple leaves with you guys, and then I'll do the rest of the leaves off camera, come back, do the next thing, finish it, come back, and then maybe that way in half an hour, we'll get way more done. And then, you know, do 2 or 3 books. And what it's going to do, one, it's sort of like a color along, but 2, it's going to motivate me to get some pages done. So it's like a win-win. Okay. Now I'm going to sort of put this away. I'm going to keep everything together, but I want to gather my thoughts and bring in the books that we worked in and kind of give you my final thoughts on the pastels. So my thoughts on the soft pastels. I don't think there's that much difference between, you know, the bargain brand, the Mungyo, and then the even more bargain brand, the no-name brand, and the Ohuhus and the water solubles, like putting them on and what they look like. But I am not looking for artist quality. I don't care, you know, like about light fast and all that stuff, because I'm coloring in coloring books. So if you're an artist, maybe that matters to you. But for coloring books, I didn't see much difference between all of them, except the messiness, right? Like the budget brand was the worst. Like my hands were just covered, but I do like that I have different colors, and I definitely would not color with the stick in my hand. I'm going to be shaving off, and then I can just wash my hands and then color with it, and then absolutely seal the page right away. But I love the colors. For the price, it was amazing. I think it was like under $20, I believe, or maybe it was $20 for 36. That's really good. The Mungyo, I really like the color variety, and I like having the different sets because of that. Like I was looking for a specific purple for Hidden Ocean, and none of the ones that I had was a good match. But when I got to the budget brand, it was a perfect match. So I like that. Now, in terms of my favorites, because soft pastels is something that is messy, I do love my Ohuhu because you got this to save your hands, which I love. So I love that. And I love that there's a big variety. I was not impressed that they didn't give me number 17. I know some people said you should contact them and for them to send you, but I bought this almost 6 months ago. So I feel like I've kind of passed the window, you know what I mean? So, but I love these. But the winner chicken dinner is definitely the Charvin Paris, the water soluble pastel painting sticks. I love that you can use them wet or dry. Love that. I have to say, I think my favorite way to use them is wet, because you can move that, you know, pigment around really easy with the brush, and then you can color over top. So I really did love those. Now I just want to go, sorry for shaking here. My pastels almost fell on the ground. That would have been disastrous. We did go through and try, you know, different ways to use, and the coloring on the Neo Color 2 worked really well. It really deepened that color. And I love using the paper stumps with it too, because you can really get into the nitty gritty of things. And you see here how it's splotchy, which on this page, I love it. And I didn't want to do the whole thing because I was like, but I love it. I don't want to change it. So I did just kind of like the sides, and even the next day, it looks even better. I like it better, but it really fills that in. So I like that. I liked it on over Neocolor 2s. Now I wanted to try over alcohol markers, but then we tried 2 different types of papers. This is Amazon paper, but it's a little better Amazon paper than, let's say, the RJ Hampson. And this butter, it would go on and just move. Like, I was able to do the sky really well, and I loved how it was able to move. So I like that. Now on this Amazon paper, like, I like how it looks, but man, it was a lot of work. It doesn't move at all. So I won't be using it on Amazon paper. As you can tell, after I turned off the video, I did start finishing coloring this one. So I'm hoping to get this one done today. We'll see. We'll see if I can get it done. Today's May 31st. So, you know, if I want this one to count for today, I have to get it done today. And then in this book here, in the Erie book, World Literature, I used a Charvin. I used different ones for the sky and the water, and they worked perfectly. I like how it went down, so much so that I'm not going to touch the sky because I like that it looks like there's clouds in the background. So I'm not going to touch that. But now I've based the entire thing with soft pastels, or the semi-hard pastels, the Charvin ones. And now I'm just going to go in with some pencil work, and the pencil is working really great on these. And second is I'm able to find really good matches to go with the pastels, which I love. And I'm not one person that if I start with polychromos, I will only use polychromos. If I go, I have a Prismacolor that the color is really close to this, even though I use polychromos for the rest, I will go get the polychromos and use that. Like, let's say, you know, I think indigo in polychromos will work really well here. But if I thought a Prismacolor one would work better, I would go get it. But I am really happy with the results that I got. And it's kind of streaky right now. But once I go over with the pencils, I think, you know, at least it covered the tooth of the paper, and the pencil is going down like a charm. So I am loving that. So that's it. I hope I'm sure there's 100 other different ways to use it, but I think it was a good start. And once I've used, you know, a lot of my supplies in the Let's Talk, I don't plan on stopping. I plan on, you know, then maybe using, you know, working on just backgrounds one day, and, you know, maybe using a different mediums for each. I'm not going to stop thinking different ways. The one thing I didn't use, I realized, was one of these. I had taken it out and I didn't use it because the other stuff works so well, but I can't see why this wouldn't work. I mean, it's just another tool, right? So if you prefer these things, you know, try it out, see how it works. It's easier on the hand to hold for sure. And you can get into, you know, some of the nitty gritty places. But that's it. We're gonna stop it here for the soft pastels. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. Maybe of different tools you would like, or supplies that you would like me to try out during the Let's Talk sessions on my channel. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.